men, and what really amazes me, the so-called conservative Christians in America, they lift up these guys who curse and drink because they're conservative Republicans. What is this?
A mess.
I mean, one week he's down, George Bush is down in Atlanta, they're giving him a standing applause. The next week he's out hunting some wild animal in Texas, stopping at a local pub or bar.
Playing a saxophone.
What is this? I don't know what they're talking about. Why does the conservative, so-called conservative church in America put their approval on presidents who drink and curse? They won't do it. Well, yeah, they will. I started saying they won't do it with one of their church members, but they do. They do it with their deacons, don't they? All right, let's finish reading this because I got to show you this and we'll stop. He exercises all the power of the first beast, or it exercises, because that's also all too. That has no gender.
The he is it.
The he is an it. The he is all too. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before it, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose daily wound was healed, the world ruling order. And I'm just going to read through this because I want to get to this. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And fire from heaven was that was a picture of judgment. This is allegorical language, it's figurative speech, it's talking about the judgment of God. It's going to be a pretense to bring judgment down. Now let me just read the next few verses and I'll stop and we'll come back next week. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. This is all figurative language, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by the sword and did live. Something to represent the world ruling system. Do y'all see what I'm saying? A representative. The word image is that word icon, E-I-K-O-N, and it means when Jesus was the image of God, we've been, whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son. He didn't predestinate us to be statues. He predestinated us to be representatives of Christ, didn't he? That's right. And the word image there is icon. It means a representative. Same thing as here. This is a representative, and I'll show you, because in the next verse, he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Who has power to resurrect life? What is the sign of Christ? This is not talking about resurrecting a statue. That's God's power. That's the difference between our God and Satan. He has no life. That's a phony, fake thing when you see a Dracula movie and he comes to life. That's not true. That's a good fairy tale. Marys get scared of those. I say, Mary, that's a fairy tale. You can watch that. It's a fairy tale because that ain't going to happen. Satan cannot bring life. What is the gospel? The gospel, if you read the first 4 verses of the 15th chapter of 1 Corinthians, it's the resurrection of Christ in our mortal bodies. So, when Jesus said there will be no sign be given to this wicked and adulterous generation but the sign of the prophet Jonah, 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the fish, 3 days and 3 nights in the earth. Resurrection is the only sign to the unbeliever, and that's the sign of our God. Only Jesus gives life. When he talks about giving life, he's talking about life in the sense of this world making a system come to life. He's not talking about breathing life in a statue. That always used to bother me when I was a kid and I hear preachers preach, they're going to build a statue or a computer and it's going to come to life. No, what this is about something to represent the beast. What represents the beast? What represented him in the garden is the same that represented him now, and it is a she. He had power to give life unto the image. Guess what that is? The. Now, where do you find that up there in the chart? Huh? It's feminine, isn't it? The image is a female. What's the female that we're familiar with? The harlot. We have the female in the church. The female is the church. That's the wife, the bride of Christ. And the imitator is the harlot that started with Eve in the garden. She was the representative. And what represents and speaks for the world order, remember, a mountain was a ruling city. And a city was called a mother, and Babylon was the mother or the instructor of all harlotry. And the word harlotry means idolatry. The instructor, The one who speaks for the beast is the harlot of Babylon, where they have, let us make us a name, pride, self-esteem. Where do we find that in the world, that they're trying to feed it to the world? America. God bless Babylon. You know, we can't find American prophecy because we don't want to see her for what she really is. She's an evil, wicked system, and one day they're going to cut off all this freedom we got little by little. Do you actually believe, or I actually believe, that the framers of the Constitution could write a Constitution in a couple of weeks, and it takes all these Supreme Court judges years and years to figure out? Do you actually believe that these guys that wrote the Constitution had all this in mind? They couldn't even think this deep. Ain't no few men can think the way all these guys are interpreting over the years.